silver lining of the absolute destruction of something called the Super Derrico. The Super Derrico is what happened in Baltimore. Nobody predicted it to happen. Nobody knew. It was a cold stream coming from one area, a heat stream coming from another, that caused millions of people to lose power. All because trees and power lines, it caused your camp to start late. It caused my life to become unbelievably hectic, more than it ever had. But in Judaism we know that there, guys, advisors, in Judaism we know that in every single good thing that happens, or in every bad thing that happens, there's something else good that comes out of it. So of course, on a simple level, the forest needs to regrow, etc. But on our campus, right here, is an unbelievable lesson. One good thing that possibly could come out. And it was a lesson that I can't show you, that I can't tell you more than I could visualize. Here. You have this 70, 80-foot tree. And you can see very clearly that because it was built, it was growing next to this little stream. So the roots weren't deep enough. It just didn't have the ability for the roots to become deep enough. It's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avos. You can learn it yourself. Perek Gimel, Mishnah 22, Chaf Beis. If you want to know one thing, if there's one reason that through the entire storm, we said we're starting camp, we're doing it, is because every single staff member here believes that the most important thing for you in your life is not what you think it is. See, all of you think, as a person, if I could build a big tree, that'd be awesome. If I could be the rock star, the super baseball player, that would be awesome. And when you get down to it, the most successful Jews, the most successful people are not those people who build big trees. Because tragedies, winds, challenges will hit every one of you, unfortunately. It's a given. And if you have a big tree without deep roots, it just falls down. And it's not coincidence that it took the bridge away with it and just flipped this bridge that I'm standing on over. Because the bridges can also be tipped over. The bridges you built, because the most important thing is for you, for the next 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, learning groups, talking to your advisors, everything you do is to build deep roots. That's our goal, all of us, every one of us, is for you to figure out a way. We don't care how big your tree is, I promise. In life, as your friends, etc. Whether it's being a mensch on the sports field, like we did when we go, and the guys who went last Saturday night, but when we go to bowling, it's unbelievable. That's not a big thing we do. We make sure to put every bowling ball away. So those are deep roots. We make sure that if you have a question here, ask it. Oh, I'm too cool to ask a question. That's a big tree. That falls over. I have a question I'm going to ask it. I'm going to get an answer for it because that builds deep roots. One last thing, and then you're free to go. A few months ago, I went to visit my parents in Berkeley, California. We all know one of the biggest trees that exist in the world are redwood trees. And ironically, redwood trees, if you look it up, do not have deep roots. But they grow for hundreds of thousands of years. Why don't they fall over? So if you learn a little bit about redwoods, you don't go seeing individual redwood trees. You go to a redwood forest. Because the redwood trees, for whatever reason, God made it, maybe it's to teach us this lesson, can't have deep roots. But what they do is they have a redwood next to them. And that redwood next to them grows its roots and intertwines with the redwood next to it. And all those redwoods underground are intertwined. And they, because of that, can't fall. Camp Sports, advisors, campers, NCSYers, Colo guys who are here, every single one of you. We each need all of you. Because there will be times when we can't build the deepest roots. But if we stick together, if you saw all the alumni Twitters and emails that Rabbi Wex is getting, or even over the next 3 weeks, if we stick together, there's not a storm in the world. If we work on sticking together and building deep roots, that could cause this to happen to us. And that's why we're here today. And I couldn't let this opportunity pass us without pointing it out to you. That's it. For those visual learners, here it is. Gentlemen, Marv will be at 9:40.